would say it's one of the best examples of post-commentary that's out there right now. A lot of people don't do post-commentary very well. I think they do it really well.
To whoever asked earlier, it is a combination of a lisp and an accent. It's just my natural way of speaking, and because I do have a slight Italian accent.
Yeah, it works.
Oh,
I'm trying to stop because I speak way too fast. I have a habit of just speaking really freaking fast.
Best Mario spin-off series.
Paper Mario.
Mario is missing.
Fuck you.
You know what? No, I'll do one better. Fun with numbers with Mario. You know what?
Fuck, you win.
You know what? Okay, so I have a fun story about this. When I was little, yes, I literally played the crap out of that game. But you know what's funny though is because of that game, I actually was able to skip at least maybe 2 math levels. Thanks, Mario.
Hey, that's awesome, man.
It works. And you know what's interesting is when usually go to the convention, I cosplay as Mario. And what was funny is when I went to PAX Prime, I do believe, K-Head?
Yeah.
When I went to PAX Prime, I cosplayed as Mario, and in a way, people said I roleplayed as Mario because, I also tried his voice, like, hee, I got it! And what was interesting is when I went around Nintendo's booth, they were like, wow, you almost sound like Charles. I'm like, oh no, I do not sound like Mr. Matinee. Oh no. And it was funny too that one of the guys actually knew Charles. He's like, let me call him. He's got to hear this. I was like, oh god, no, please don't. I do not want that. But that's literally one of my bucket lists. I do want to meet Charles Martinet. I will be damned if I don't, but...
What's been the oddest thing you guys have been asked to do? Oddest.
I have a very odd thing I've been asked to do recently, and it's terrifying.
Go ahead.
I was on a live stream with John, and somebody sent me a message on, I think it was on Skype. They wanted me to forward pictures of them to John because I mentioned I have his phone number. And that's terrifying. Because, the NSA watches everybody.
Yep.
I don't want people sending me pictures to send to people.
Do either of us play League of Legends? No. I am not an MMORPG person.
That's not even an MMORPG.
Well, an MMO. Massive.
It's not even really that, really. It's more
whatever it is! I can't remember. I don't know.
I don't play games!
There you go.
Okay, strangest thing I've ever been asked to do was at a summer camp when I was about 12. We had a water drinking contest where you had to drink water faster than anyone else, and you got tickets. These tickets were used to buy tools, to build go-karts, to race. And I got picked for the event because people were coming so they could eat fast. So I had to drink a 3/4 gallon of water thing and as fast as I could. And I chugged the thing in 12 seconds and proceeded to get sick for the rest of the day.
Congratulations.
You got hydration poisoning.
Pretty much. I didn't eat anything for the rest of the day, and I peed every 10 minutes.
Yeah, you possibly got hydration poisoning.
Any of you know of the Dot Hack series? If so, what are your thoughts? I love the series, just the fact they're really freaking long games.
Never heard of them.
They're really good. It's a really good... Sorry.
No, I had a friend of mine in high school who was really into them. He tried to get me into them, and so I think it was like were they on GameCube? They might have been.
PS2 mainly.
PS2, okay, and it wasn't bad. It was just it's a kind of gameplay you have to be into in the mindset to get into it.
What game, in your opinion, is the worst you've ever played?
That's a question.
Well,
worse in a bad way.
Worst I've played or worst I've beaten? Because it's slightly different answers.
The 2 games I can think of right off the top of my head is the Toy Story game for the original SNES. I hate that game with a burning passion. And the only other game I can think of is Radical Rex for the SNES.
Static Geo, Sonic 06 is overratedly bad. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. It's got a lot of glitches, it's got a lot of problems, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be, honestly.
As Ronnie or Azure Blade says, even as K had said it, it's an overly rated bad game, but once you get used to the controls, it's okay. The Silver the Hedgehog sections though are a pain in the ass.
Okay, yeah. Baddest game I've ever played. I have played Superman 64, but I'm not sure if that's the worst game I've ever played.
Thoughts on Luigi's Mansion? Which one? Luigi's Mansion 1 or Dark Moon?
I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling fan. Zion or Liam. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Sorry. Oh, John's back.
I'm gonna end this with the worst game I've ever played is probably Thrill Kill for the PS1.
Really?
Yeah, it's if you ever actually bring it up, I mean, you can only get it as a raw as a ISO. But if you actually bring it up and play it, it's a properly terrible game.
I'm actually quite impressed that you've played it.
Yeah, I have the ISO state on my computer right now. I played it like less than 3 weeks ago. A couple buddies I wanted to see me play it, and I streamed it for him because I was saying I was streaming Pepsi Man because Pepsi Man.
Because Pepsi Man.
I have an unhealthy obsession with the game because I saw it. A game store down the street from me has a copy for like $150, and I saw it. I'm like, I want to play that game. And I want to beat the game now.
Okay, worst game I've ever beaten would have to be Legacy of Goku for the Game Boy Advanced.
That pizza might have been the best and the worst idea at the same time.
I told you to cry to yourself slowly as you ate it.
I was more like scarfing it down and like sustenance saw. I will live another day.
I was about to say, well, John, why don't you just enjoy the pizza? We got this, Chad. That's just nothing.
Well, it's more the fact that A,
yeah,
that, and B, I need to get back to this game. I need to get first place back.
Well, at least Guns hasn't gotten a higher score.
Yeah. I guess at this point I can say I've probably got second place on lockdown.
Oh, easily.
But there's still the potential of someone surprising me. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Chris from We Wreck to Play is like playing the game nonstop right now just to beat my score. I'm just happy to at least broke 2 million. I think that is the one thing I really wanted to do this competition. I'm just bummed out that I lose first place like a day before it ends.
Well, think about this. Don't just break 2 million. You broke 2 million on a stream.
That's actually while I was laughing my ass off, which is the more impressive part. Because my concentration was not there at all. I had to keep stopping because I was laughing at Pat when we were talking about fucking Bane Mr. Rogers.
This is so good.
Zion, my favorite wrestler is The Undertaker.
Favorite wrestler? Oh, dude, The Undertaker for sure.
Oh man, you're gonna make me think about this. Macho Man. Duh. What am I thinking?
Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
don't you love Macho Man?
I like a lot of guys ironically and a lot of guys seriously. I like Stone Cold seriously. I like The Rock seriously. I like John Cena ironically. I like Macho Man seriously. I like old school Hulkamania, Hogan, like actually, and then Hollywood ironically. So
I like Andre the Giant, but who doesn't?
True. Andre does have a posse after all.
What was the worst person you've ever met?
Everybody.
Yeah, there we go. I went to this big convention once. There were so many people there, and yeah, every single one of them.
Worst person I ever met. I'm going to say person I spent. There's one person that comes to mind, but I know my view on her is skewed because I spent too much time with her, and our friendship ended badly. Truly, worst person I ever met is probably this guy. Is back when I used to work at a grocery store. This guy who was the biggest jackass I've ever seen. So, do you mind if I tell the story, or am I just taking up too much time?
Go ahead. I'm focusing on the game, so.
Okay, so I used to work at a grocery store. I used to work at a grocery store mainly as a bagger, and the job sucked ass completely because the job paid like shit. It didn't give me many hours, and the people you met usually were assholes. This one time I was begging though, and this guy comes up with a absolutely stuffed shopping cart. And I asked him very nicely, and he puts everything on the counter, and I asked him very nicely, could you give me the cart please, so I can load bags in the cart? And he's talking on his cell phone, and he's like, shut up, I'm busy. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I start bagging, and eventually I fill up my counter. So I've got nowhere else to place the bags. I'm like, sir, can I please have the cart? He's like, be quiet, don't bother me. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I put one bag on the floor, because I have no other place to put it. He comes in, and by the way, he's got a little daughter, like she's like 3 years old, I'm guessing, 3, 4, something like that. And I fill up the shopping cart, and it just barely doesn't fit. There's like 2 bags that don't fit. He takes one, and he gives the other one, the one that's on the floor, to his daughter. She drops it, and this bag that she drops has his eggs in it, and his eggs crack. So he goes to the manager and complains that the reason his eggs crack is because I put it on the floor. And doing this, basically, he wanted his money back for the eggs and to get free eggs. And then he also, let's see, what was the exact request he wanted? He wanted me to say I was sorry, want an apology, and then he wanted me to bring out the shopping cart to his car and pack it nicely. And I forget. I want to say he wanted me to pay him, but I don't think that. I think the manager said no. That's ridiculous. And that's probably that's pretty much the most person I've ever met in my life, because that guy was the biggest asshole I've ever seen.
See, the problem is when you're a cashier bagger, you meet all the worst people.
Oh shit! It's ridiculous how many people you meet when you work.
Oh no! I can think of a lot of worse people.
Oh no, I'm sure you can. That's the worst person I've met, mainly because I didn't take shit from people when I was a bagger. Like they tried to stab me. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, sir. You're an idiot, not me. Probably want to. No, go ahead.
See, I had one guy I used to work on an express lane, which is always fun. I had one guy who came through with his 6-year-old daughter or whatever, and he bought a machete at our store, and so I have to get the ID and stuff and all that stuff in. I hear something wrong and mutter shit under my breath because I'm stupid and curse at the time with in front of a 6-year-old daughter, and he blows up at me and curses no less than 15 times in front of his daughter about how I shouldn't curse in front of his daughter.
That's ironic.
It's sad and pathetic. She's just sitting there staring at him. I felt so bad for her because he's red-faced yelling and everyone in the store staring. I'm like, okay, you're buying a machete. You're crazy.
Maybe he had a jungle. Maybe he had a jungle he needed to tame.
Or he was gonna go kill somebody. One of the two.
Then he needs a hockey mask.
He might have already owned the hockey mask.
He probably didn't sell those there.
No, we didn't.
See, there you go. You in fact found Jason Voorhees 2 Electric Boogaloo.
No, it's Jason Voorhees 2. Jason goes to Canada.
He's not. Brad's not Canadian.
I try.
John, if you had to pick a sidekick, who would it be? Super Genius or Josh Jepson?
Oh, don't make me choose.
Okay.
Actually, the choice is Pickle.
Ah.
Don't make me choose, except for this choice.
What is the happiest moment? Why are these questions about me? Okay, this is John's fucking stream.
Well, probably because you're the one who's talking the most. And while I'm playing this, so. Oh shit! I'm a fool!
John, what are you most excited for from the Nintendo games coming out?
Mario and Luigi Dream Team, followed by Bayonetta 2, followed by Wonderful 101, followed by 3D World, followed by Mario Kart 8, followed by Yoshi's Island 3DS, followed by, I forget what else is coming out. The Link to the Past sequel.
I'm not gonna lie, when the Link to the Past sequel got announced, I literally screamed like a little girl. I'm sorry, Link to the Past was one of my favorite SNES games of all times. I was so surprised when it says, "Oh, we're making a sequel to it."
I just find it weird that that's the game they picked for the sequel.
Well, that's what everyone likes the most.
I guess, but and technically Zelda 2 is actually a sequel to Zelda 1.
Yeah.
But now the question is, where is it going to fit in the timeline?
Yeah, now they have the constraints of the timeline. That's going to be a nightmare. Or they're just going to yeah, we don't actually care anymore. We just said that so people would shut up.
Also, whoever asked, I played Spy Kids a ton as a kid. I mean, Spy Fox. Sorry. Ugh.
Spy Fox?
Spy Fox. Yeah.
Oh, like
Putt-Putt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to play that a lot as a kid. That's what I do when I go to my grandparents' houses. We'd play Spy Fox, Putt-Putt, Funny Fish.
I played a bit of, I want to say Pajama Sam.
Oh, Pajama Sam. Love Pajama Sam.
But I played it at a demo kiosk. That was it.
Now, K-Head, by Spy Fox, do you mean that one fox who's a super secret agent and it's like a drive-in simulator type thing?
Yeah, it's a click and point adventure time, but you play as a James Bond as a fox. Like, it's literally a James Bond villain. You got Monkey Penny instead of Money Penny.
I remember that game.
Reminds me of James Pond.
It's a James Bond ripoff.
I've played the second one,
James Pond.
James Pond 2, codename Robocod. That's the one I remember.
Yes.
Although I only played that back when I got into emulation because I had never heard of the game or seen it for rent. But I just thought the concept of James Pond 2, codename Robocod, was pretty funny. Damn it! Fucking blindsided me.
Would you ever consider doing a Resident Evil 1 LP for shits and giggles?
Oh god, yeah. Actually, after the stream of Resident Evil 1 and everyone just getting so into Barry, I'm like, maybe.
Oh,
But I
fantastic. I always thought Barry.
What is
Do you
this?
stand to do a full LP of Resident Evil 1?
What?
Did you actually stand to do like the full LP though?
Yeah, you know what? I've never beaten Resident Evil 1. So if
Yeah,
anything, it would be an excuse for me to beat Resident Evil 1.
That's true.
But at the same time, if I remember correctly, Resident Evil 1 is one of the few games in the series that has multiple endings, so
Yeah.
I'd have to show all those off, and that would be a bit of a nightmare in post.
Well, no. What you could do is get a hold of Gerard and say, "Hey, can you help me out here? You completionist Resident Evil 1 and record it."
He's already
And then-
complete. He's already done that.
Has he?
Yep.
No.
Probably like at least 10 or 15 episodes before we did Gunstar Heroes.
Oh, okay.
Probably longer, actually.
I looked through all his backlog and didn't even see it.
He did the GameCube one.
Oh, okay. I was looking for the PS1 one.
Yeah, no, he has not. He has not done. This is Chris's blood. Jill Sandwich. He did not do that.
Okay.
By the way, what was the question? Shoot. Also, Cy Phoenix, there's no competition. N64 GoldenEye all the way.
What is the question?
N64 or Xbox GoldenEye.
Oh, yeah. Actually,
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. GoldenEye's not aged very well.
Really? I still enjoy it.
Perfect Dark State aged pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, except for the massive slowdown. So like the XBLA version, good version of Perfect Dark, but the original N64 GoldenEye, kind of lacking in a couple features.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean I still don't like GoldenEye. I like GoldenEye. But if you're gonna ask me GoldenEye or Perfect Dark, I will always say Perfect Dark.
Have you played the N64 Perfect Dark with like the HD mod packs and stuff?
No.
Oh, Mike, the person I mentioned earlier, he has a N64 streaming rig set up. Like basically, he has like all the software and stuff, and he streamed N64 with a bunch of HD res packs, and it looked gorgeous. N64 version, but HD and everything else. It looked fine.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Apparently, it takes like 3 times the RAM and a lot more GPU.
Well, that's not even remotely surprising.
No.
Because, I mean, I don't know why, but N64 emulation as it is, kind of taxing on a system.
Super taxing.
Of the one, my guys, who is the most like odd job? I mean, the James Bond villain?
Yeah.
I assume so.
Do you know another odd job? Are there more than one odd jobs out there?
Well, you could do an odd job.
Who out of the three of you would actually do an odd job? Which of you three would actually clean an elephant? For money.
Suddenly dirty jobs? Who is Mike Rowe here?
Tim, because he's the one who talks the least.
There you go.
Oh, God. Let the fan art of Tim looking like Oddjob commence.
I somehow do not see that happening. I'm more shocked than anything someone brought up Oddjob, and I think the only reason is because we were talking about GoldenEye.
Yeah.
What do you think of John? What do you think of the Emil X John packs? I'm fairly sure you're aware of it, but what do you think of it?
I am aware of it. I've seen the pictures. I prefer my my significant others with boobs. I'll be honest. Sorry.
I'm not gonna lie. I am legitimately surprised there is a pairing of that. That's what's.
Oh, I'm not even remotely surprised.
I'm not
If
surprised
there's
at
a group dynamic at all, it'll probably have a crack pairing. If I've learned anything from the internet, it's that everything is in love with everything else.
Fanfics,
34.
ships.
Oh yeah.
And what's
I don't wanna know.
what's the male female one? Is that 63? Or opposite gender? That's another good one too. That one I see a lot.
John, what do you think Waspinator's plans are?
Sorry, repeat that.
John, what do you think Waspinator's plans are?
Waspinator's plans are to rule the world. That's not quite right. I do a better Skeletor than I do a Waspinator. Cause like all you need to do for a Skeletor is go yeah, and then it's the most accurate voice ever.
Pretty much.
Yeah, He-Man, I. Oh shit.
But can you do Starscream?
I don't think I've ever tried. I can't even in my head visualize what Starscream sounds like.
I'd have to pull up a YouTube link for it, because I know I can't do the voice.
Because for some reason, when I think Waspinator, when I think Starscream, the raptor from Beasties comes to mind, and I cannot suddenly remember what his name is.
Terribly far off. Your Waspinator voice is actually terribly far from Starscream. It's a little less nasally and buzzy.
All I remember hearing from Starscream is retreat. That's all in my mind, all I can hear is like, retreat!
Yeah, it's usually all he ever shouted. He had a lot of lines he had more lines, I think, in Beast Wars than he did in, like, the third season of the regular Transformers cartoon.
That's pretty fantastic, actually. And he was only in, like, one episode of Beast Wars.
One episode for all of, like, 10 minutes.
Who was it he took
John,
over?
can you do a Gollum impression?
Probably my sinuses are pretty nasally right now, so I don't know if I can do it. That's not me, by the way.
That's
just stating. In case someone got confused about that. Because, like, Gollum's like, the precious, but, like, I can't quite get that nasally raspiness. I also don't usually try to destroy my throat that much. Because, like, the one voice I do that always seems to, like, wreck my throat is, when I'm talking like this, I get sounds a little bassy.
Oh my god, that's great!
I love it.
I can do crazy voice like that. One that always destroys my voice is pretty much like a modified crying. Oh, it's how you made some
That just sounds like you're choking, to be honest.
That voice destroys my throat.
Clearly.
Wait, who turned on slow chat?
I don't know.
I didn't.
Weird.
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
That's not the correct voice at all. Damn it.
No, but it's not that bad.
No.
Yeah, nobody turned on slow chat.
I'm actually turned on with 2K people. Oh, wait, that's not 2K people. It's 1,500.
Yeah, people.
It might have auto turned on and maybe not turned off because we did apparently break 2K at some point.
You hit 2K and around the same time, everyone shouted disappointed at once.
Right, I forgot about that moment. That's probably a good reason to turn on slow chat.
Just a smidgen. Oh, good look, people linking to Pepsi Man in the chat. Don't link to Pepsi Man, people. Don't. It's not. Don't.
Is it the game or is it the ads? Because the Pepsi Man ads are pretty funny too.
The ad inside the game is pretty funny.
Oh, like the just a random American dude?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, what is the super English thing he says that's just fantastic?
Oh, I can't even remember. I've skipped past the intro so many times now because I've like, you know.
It's like after the end of like chapter 2 or something. Like I remember when Maxwell streamed like the entire game, but I cannot for the life of me remember what the actual quote is.
Zion, I do not play the current generation wrestling games because they pretty much bore me and I don't feel like wasting money on them.
I don't know, man. WWE 13. I got Batman trying to run over Superman.
Yeah, you like it because you're creative like that. I'm not creative like that. So
I like it because I'm psychotic. There's a difference.
There's a good difference.
Oh man, I wonder how many people here have actually seen that bit. Because there's probably like a ton of people who have not seen my WWE 13 storyline.
I've seen. You didn't put a video up, did you?
No, I've done it on like 2 separate streams, I think. But I don't.
I've seen stream it, but no, you should put a video of it up, man. That's what you should have done this week, is put a video of it up as opposed to anything else.
That's true. But I like intermission music. I'm sorry.
I know.
Oh, some people in the chat are like, I would totally watch that again.
Yeah, I definitely would watch it again. So
all right.
If this run fails, you're putting that video up.
All right. If the run fails, that'll be. Well, after the run, regardless, that's what we will show. So someone remind me about it, because we are bound to forget.
What are you gonna do if the run is successful and we should celebrate?
We're gonna watch the video.
Yeah, clearly, see, we win either way.
But then we're happy. Oh shit! Then we're happy when we're watching it instead of
Your fans
depressed.
are happy regardless.
I am happy with actually how many people are watching this or have watched this. I'm sure it's rotated a bit, especially considering like all the other streams going on tonight.
Yeah.
It's still 1,500, which is really good.
Yeah. Well, probably that's because you finally uploaded a video saying you're actually streaming instead of just doing it on Twitter.
Well, I do it Twitter and Facebook because I'm always like, hey guys, you know that I actually do give people updates on if there's a video or not on Facebook and Twitter, right? And people are like, no.
Then you realize.
What? Repeat, lather, rinse, and repeat that, please.
Oh, sorry. You do realize not many people pay attention to that kind of stuff.
I guess. But yeah, no. If you're wondering, if you ever wondering like why there's not a video, I've probably said something on Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's usually a good place to check. You know, you link to your Facebook from Twitter rather often too.
Not as often as I should. Emil does it more than I do.
Yeah.
Guys, what is the most surprisingly epic enemy you've ever seen in any video game? Bosses not included.
Enemy?
Yeah.
Ooh.
The final soldier in Gunstar Heroes with his special of Love Love dancing. Oh, that's technically a boss, I guess, but whatever.
Excluding bosses.
Shit, that's a good one. If I'm gonna go with from Mario RPG, I would go with what is his name? It's
Booster?
Yeah, no, Booster's technically a boss.
Oh right.
Wouldn't be Booster. What about the carrot? Why not the scarecrow looking carrot thing?
Oh man, that thing is just phenomenal.
There's so many weird enemies in that game.
But you know what? It has such a good charm to it, and I love that game to death.
Yes, I love those carrots that always attack you.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to think of the most surprising enemy I've seen in a game that wasn't a boss.
Now, see, the problem is I jump the bosses mentally too, so it's like...
I know, I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of most epic thing that's not most epic enemy. Oh god, I'm really trying to think here. Oh god. Most epic enemy. Like in general, it's. I'm just trying to think of like an epic encounter that just kind of scared me from like when I was like.
Most of those encounters would probably be bosses too. Keep that in mind.
Well, there's like, well, would we say like an enemy that is considered a boss at one point, but it's just commonplace later, still count?
If it's a common enemy or just a regular enemy, that's fine. As long as it's not.
Even though it's considered like a boss at one point, would you say that works?
Because like a lot of NES games would give you a boss and then make him like a normal enemy later on in the game.
Yeah,
like the first stage boss is almost always becomes a normal enemy.
Yeah, like the bats in Castlevania.
Or they're not.
No, I'm still thinking that I'm gonna this is in that along the same lines, but I'm just gonna have to say the regular Shegoth from Metroid Prime. That thing scared the shit out of me when I first fought it.
Yeah, that thing's pretty startling. I honestly can't think of anything for some reason.
Because most basic enemies aren't meant to be that epic. It's mainly the bosses.
Yeah. I think I can think
Actually,
of ones
one
like
thing Sorry, from the one for me would actually along the same way with Metroid Prime, probably the Chozo Ghosts when you first fight them, because they're not technically a boss, but those things are freaky when you first fight them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna. Is it most shocking enemy? What is the actual criteria we're going for again?
It was epic, most epic enemy.
Oh,
It's a weird criteria too.
you know what? I'm gonna stick with Love Love Dancing because like literally nothing else is coming to mind. I can think of plenty of enemies that have pissed me off in the past, like almost every enemy from Ninja Gaiden Black. But anything that I consider epic that is not a boss, not much coming to mind. And like Kay had said, like the whole idea is that you get excited about the bosses, not the normal enemies.
Normal enemies are usually there for just calming varieties and to maybe give you a little bit of a blockage. Bosses are mostly more memorable because, well, what it's like literally for like Legend of Zelda. Besides Ganon, who's another boss you could think of right off the top of your head?
Goma.
Bingo.
Bongo Bongo.
Yep.
King Dodongo, because I can't wait to bomb him.
Because he hates smoke. Or dislikes
So here's
smoke, sorry.
So how about supposed to be the most epic enemy? What about the like? How many games have you ever played where there's just an enemy that appears once and isn't a boss? 'Cause I've seen a couple of games that are like that.
Oh, now you've got a point.
Yeah, because that would be a shocking enemy because you see it once and you're unprepared for it. You get prepared for it again, and it never shows up.
I changed my answer to just Cloudberry Kingdom in general.
Yeah, well, you know what? Fuck you.